Welcome to another edition of the Sabre Spotlight on the Marian Sports Network, as we're going to talk Marian women's basketball with head coach Christine Keller today, as the Sabres getting ready to open up their season in a couple of weeks against Concordia University Chicago on a Wednesday night, November 14th. Christine, first of all, just how's practice been going?
Practice has been going great. We've finished up the last 2 weeks, trying to get a lot of new stuff in as far as offenses and things like that. And the newcomers are really kind of catching on to what we're doing, and so we're just kind of cramming everything in for our first scrimmage.
You talked a little bit this summer. You took over for Coach Seawald. You were on her staff the last couple of years, but has there been much different philosophy-wise in what the women are expected when you rolled out the balls a couple weeks back?
No, there's just our offense might be a little bit different than we have in the past, but everything else is pretty much the same. Our culture's the same. The expectations are the same.
That's one of the things that you as part of the staff has tried to do, isn't it? Change the culture of what Marian women's basketball is, and we've seen it move that way in the last couple of seasons in a positive direction.
Yeah, definitely. I think our senior leaders, along with obviously our junior class, has really set the tone as far as what we want from the people coming in.
I'll ask you, what do you want from people coming in, student athletes?
I think the biggest thing is the work ethic and coming in every day and giving it your all, and obviously, plays and things like that. That's going to take a little bit of time, and the adjustment of college, obviously, too. But just coming in and giving 100% every single day is really what we're looking for.
Before we talk about the student athletes on the Sabres this season, can you kind of talk about your staff who's helping out this year?
Yeah, Coach Golomsky, Katie Golomsky, she's our assistant, and she's definitely brought in a lot of knowledge just with recruiting and practice planning and things like that. We have two part-timers that are helping us out. It's Russ Golomsky and Sam Seidel, and they're kind of helping up at a part-time basis, but they're here pretty often. We do have a bigger roster, so having more eyes during practice really does help.
Having bodies is great, and that's actually for the women's basketball program of the last couple of years. Actually, having bodies
Yes.
is a good thing, isn't it? Because
Yes.
I know with injuries and such over the last couple of years, you were kind of looking around campus for people to play just to be able to practice and such. So it's great to see the program back where you have full rosters and even and then some.
Yeah, it's definitely nice to be able to actually have 5-on-5 or, have an extra team, and just being able to get different players in at different times. It definitely does help right now with our team.
Well, you bring a nice nucleus back from last year's squad. We've seen progress made in the basketball program over the last couple of years. Can you kind of talk about some of your returners this year and who you're going to be leaning on?
Yeah, so basically we have three seniors that started last year that will be back. With Rachel, Sarah, and Molly, and they've definitely have caught on to what we want to do as a culture, and definitely caught on it based on what we're trying to do on the court as well too. And then you have all of the the juniors and some of the sophomores that are coming back that have that year under their belt. It's a totally different thing coming from a freshman to a sophomore. You can totally tell the difference.
You mentioned you have a pretty nice sized freshman class coming in this year. When you're out selling the university, not only the basketball program but the university as well to potential Sabres, what do you tell them? What do you sell a freshman coming in here?
I think the biggest thing for us is, well, one with the university, just the small campus and everybody knowing everybody. Obviously, it's not for everybody, but I think a lot of the people that do come here and do come and visit are looking for that. The other thing we talk about a lot is family and community, and that's really what we're all about here with getting out into community and doing community service, and then just making sure that their team is another extension of their family.
What are some of the things you'll need to see from your squad this year if you want to push your way up the NAC standings and be competitive to return to the NAC playoffs?
I think there's a couple things that we're focusing on. Obviously, we need to score more points, and so more points in transition is something that we're working on right now. The other one is to limit our turnovers. We can't be in the high 15 to 20. We need to be lower than that in order to compete and make sure we have all the possessions that we need to score.
Sure. Last year it was one of those things too where I think maybe sometimes you had some of the women on the team looking to certain players to score. Do you think this year is going to be one of the cases where maybe it's going to be more opened up and you're going to have you're looking for more different areas for people to look to put the ball in the basket?
Yeah, I think we have a lot more different scoring threats in both the guard and the post area, so you can't really guard and want just one person on our team anymore.
I was going to ask you, it's been a few years now that they've gone to quarters for women's basketball. Do you like quarters or do you like the halves that they used to do?
I don't mind quarters. It doesn't matter either way to me. I think it's a nice way of getting to be able to, kind of talk with your team and kind of readjust things after each quarter. The players really never said either way of what they like better.
What is your take on the NAC this year? Have you looked at the NAC in general this season of what the teams are bringing back, and just your overall view of this as a women's basketball conference?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of new coaches in our conference this year. I think it's going to be kind of up for grabs, to be honest with you. I think there's going to be a lot of shifts, and I think teams are going to surprise the NAC, and then I don't think it's going to be the same as it has been in the past.
Sure. And again, a couple of the things that you're going to look for as a whole this season from your squad if you want to see yourself move up those standings.
I think the biggest thing for us is just to make sure that, we do what we need to do and not focus too much on the other team. And so for us, that's kind of what we're going to work on right now and kind of go from there.
Coach, thank you so much for joining us. Look forward to seeing the Sabres in the opener Wednesday, November 14th, Concordia University, Chicago, coming right here to the Sadoff Gymnasium. If you're looking for more information on Marian women's basketball, head to saberathletics.com. You have been watching a Sabre Spotlight on the Marian Sports Network.